Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is SunMountain64, and this is some gameplay from the multiplayer from E3 of Destiny. This is actually thanks to Drifter. Shout out to him. I'll put a link in the description down below. Thanks to him for letting me use this. But I actually went to E3 yesterday and was trying it out. And I'm probably going to try it again today if the line's not too bad. But we were able to play a couple multiplayer maps. And so I thought I would give you guys my view from the mountain and let you know what I thought about the game, at least in its alpha stages, what it's in so far in terms of the multiplayer, what it actually felt like to play it, and how it kind of relates to other games. So this is, from what I've understood at least, more of a campaign single-player type game. It's an MMORPG, where it's similar to your World of Warcraft if you played that. It's more like Borderlands, though, in the fact that this is going to have weapons, and it's also going to have some special abilities. So there's 3 different classes: Warlock, Hunter, and a Warrior more type class. I don't remember the name, Titan. But it's each class has its own special abilities, and essentially they each have 3. They've got their left bumper, right bumper, and then when your bar charges up completely, you can push them both at the same time for a super special ability that does extra damage or does something different. And you can't use it all the time. So going into it, I kind of thought of that as kind of your grenade and flashbang. First off, for the Warlock, that's pretty much exactly what it is. And then your supercharger is kind of like a really big grenade. And so it's very similar to any other game you've played in that sense. And on top of that, this is very similar to a Halo game. It's obviously created by Bungie, the same guys that made Halo 1, 2, so it's going to have that essence to it. So if you're into that, that's awesome. I personally was really excited by being able to play it, and the mechanics worked so smoothly. The jumping was awesome. All of the turning was very on point. The health is actually a lot more than kind of your normal COD or any other game, but it's not quite at the Halo level. So you will have to get some shots on, and when you get the hit, it tells you how much damage that you do. So in that sense, it is kind of more tactical in that you can't escape. You can turn on people, which is what I was doing a lot of. When I played yesterday, I got like 17 kills in the first game, which if you guys saw my E3, I did a day recap that I uploaded. You can check that out in the previous video, but I got like 17 kills. The closest guy to me got like 5 or something, at least on my team. I was beasting on him. But once I went to the second map, this one had vehicles on it. It had almost the exact same thing as the Ghost, right? You hold down the trigger, you can boost with it. I mean, it felt the exact same. The cannons on it to shoot, the mobility factor, it felt extremely similar. There was also kind of, not the Wraith, but similar to the Wraith vehicle, where it shot bigger bullets and was impossible to destroy. Especially because even when you die, so I was playing as the Warlock, and you have that grenade type missile, the purple missile. And even when you die, you have to wait for that thing to keep recharging. At least that's what I was noticing. So you can't just keep spamming this thing out. You have to wait for it to recharge. And so I died to that thing. I went like 1 in 15 that time because there was somebody on the other team who knew what he was doing, and he got one of those things. My team had no idea how to deal with it, and I just personally kept on shooting it, trying to destroy it, and I couldn't do anything. And so that was a bit disappointing. The vehicle balance, at least for me so far, maybe another class could have taken it down better, but it was really disheartening playing that and just getting wrecked by vehicles the entire time. There's also somebody in a Ghost and a turret, and they just controlled all the vehicles and controlled the game. And so that was kind of, frustrating because I personally like the COD. I like the Battlefield game where, I like Battlefield Domination or Team Deathmatch where you don't have to deal with the vehicles, at least all of the time. It looks like this is just going to be part of the normal map rotation. We were playing a domination type game. So, you had to go after the objectives and everything. But when you're dealing with the vehicles, it makes it so much more difficult to actually deal with that, especially if you're not already equipped for it. You got to just run away and hide. And that's not what I like doing in games. At the same time, though, if you get into the vehicle, you're pretty dominant force. So that's what I was doing for a while. I did get into the Ghost type vehicle, but the thing is, when you're driving it around, It's pretty mobile, but that one's more exposed, so you can get taken down. But what was really cool about the vehicles, I do have to say, was the animation on it was extremely impressive. All of the movements in this game, the graphics were flawless. It was gorgeous to see them moving around, and when you're driving in it, the animations of, you turning, it's not jumpy, it's all very smooth, and it was exactly what you would expect from a Bungie type game. So that was really cool to see. And again, this is just the multiplayer that I was able to take a look at. In terms of the abilities, though, I think that, honestly, I would like to see more abilities instead of just 2 for each class. Maybe there is, and actually I believe there is. Once you progress through it, you can get more, but that was just what we saw in the very first thing. But that's what I'm excited for, is to keep progressing through this, because this is an unlocking game. You're going to unlock a lot of new things and a lot of new equipment and armor, and this multiplayer is really just a side portion of the game, right? The big thing is going through the campaign, working cooperatively, doing missions, to play with your friends, interact with other new players just through matchmaking. So I think they did a really good job with this game, especially for it just being in alpha. The only quirk that I had was the vehicle balance in the multiplayer, which I'm sure can be regulated coming into the future. But when you're going in there, the shooting, the animations, the having more health, not just dying instantly on your shot, the incorporation of special abilities, it's all really awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing this in full game. It really actually did impress me. Now, I know there's a difference between getting it on the PS4 and the Xbox One, since this is only coming out on the consoles. So, you can't get it on PC. That's what I've recently upgraded to. So that's kind of disheartening, but I think that this is going to be a great game on either console, right? You're going to get some additional material if you're going to be playing it on the Battlefield, or if you're going to be playing it on PS4. You get access to the beta, or some early access, as well as a few other, armor, things like that you can't get on the Xbox. But I don't think it's that big of a trade-off. I mean, what is it? Is it really that important to have all of the little armor things or weapon designs or things like that? I don't think so. I think you can still get the full experience on the Xbox One. So this is definitely a game I'm going to be picking up. You guys know I'm a very multiplayer-oriented channel. That's what I love to do. It's what I love to play. But I think the campaign in this is going to be multiplayer-oriented. I think the only thing about this game, though, is it's probably going to be a time drain going through. Hopefully, this isn't going to be very quest, like going out, picking up a bunch of stuff, and bringing it back to somebody, and just doing repetitive things like that. I'm hoping that this is going to have a really cool aspect where you have to take down giant bosses all the time, work together, and really just incorporate some cool, diverse aspects to level up, rather than just kind of the repetitive stuff, which we've seen from a lot of these games, which is what kind of turned me away from playing some of the other ones that are RPG like this. It's going to have some open world events that are going to be multiplayer as well, which I'm excited to see. We've only seen one where it takes down like a scarab type thing, where everybody comes in a random world or a random world event and takes that down. Weapon selection, you could have 3 weapons as well. You had your main, your shotgun secondary, so you can have 2 kind of primary weapons as you're on your back when you spawn in. And then on top of that, across the map, there's special ammo that you can pick up. Hold down your weapon change button, and you pull out a massive gun that's got bonus features. So I think this is a pretty cool game. It's a cool concept, and I like that they're really giving some attention to the multiplayer in Destiny. It's not just going to be this cooperative mission going through and advancing through, kind of unlocking armor, working together to do that, but they also have this multiplayer aspect where you go head-to-head against other players like that. And because it is an MMORPG like this, people are going to have to level up. People are going to have to get to the end game, per se, before they can really get everything. I think this gives Bungie additional time to really work on the game. So once it's out, the DLC that they can drop in the future to improve the multiplayer, to add in new things, and to make changes is going to be massive, especially once you get to the late game. I think they can really incorporate a lot with this, and I'm excited for it. So there it is, guys, my alpha review. I didn't know how it was going to be going into it before. I had seen some stuff, but I was really impressed by all of it. So there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Be sure to drop a like in the description down below, or in the comments down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the gameplay and what you're thinking about Destiny before it's out right now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. If you want to check out the previous video, like I mentioned, it's my E3 Day 1 recap. I saw a lot of awesome stuff. You can check out the recommended video as well to hear my thoughts on the new COD Advanced Warfare and all the information they've released on that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. This is StoneMouse64, signing out.